Hey, what's up guys? With overwhelming electricity, the rank 5 player in the world just cooked up the best Electro Giant deck in the game. By mixing Evolved Goblin Cage with Electro Giant, you fortify a defensive structure that even Pekka struggles to break through. Cage completely covers Electro Giant on defense against high damage cards like Prince and Pekka counter pushing, while you can strike down all their bridge spam with your bowler, or even better, get a Tornado King Tower activation. Once this deck enters into double or triple elixir where you can afford all the high cost cards, it ascends to a status of unstoppable. Basically, lightning will break through any building or high damage unit that's targeting the Electro Giant, amplifying your Shocking Sir's chances of getting tower damage. While you can always find damage using Evolved Bomber and Bowler, lining up your opponent's units towards their tower with Tornado. If you don't have Evolved Goblin Cage, use regular Goblin Cage and swap Barb Barrel for Evolved Archers. Evolved Archers have strong synergy with Evolved Bomber since they're both arrows bait. It's time to get to double and triple elixir so we can put our opponents in a Goblin Cage prison with no way to win while we assert dominance. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on any of the daily videos. An ample Electro Giant love to everyone that's using credit code SirTag to support the channel. Yo, this dude's got Cannoneer in the banner, and honestly, I do not want to be playing against that tower. It melts Electro Giant usually, but maybe our Evolved Bomber will get the last laugh. The guy is already flexing the ultimate champion emote on us. He's like, Jake, I bet you don't have this. Little does he know, we kind of have a little bit more. We got the 20 win emote, so we got to like one up him and let him know that his emote is insignificant to us. So I'm going to go in for a Barbarian Barrel here. Definitely going to be a pretty good matchup for us if we're playing against bait and can activate King Tower quite comfortably against this Firecracker. So one of the main reasons that this deck is going to be playing a Princess Tower over the Cannoneer is there's so many darn people in this game that are playing bait cards. No matter which way you look, you're probably going to see, oh please, no! Inches away from getting Electro Giant in front of the Inferno Dragon. That would have been a W. That would have been the most W play in existence for us, and it didn't work, dang it. Also, I'm pretty confident this Inferno Dragon is going to melt the rest of our Electro Giant, so not the spot that we deserved at all. That could have been a glorious win right out of the jump. And that's the power of Electro Giant. You get a good push rolling, and your opponent's just dead. It's just over that. But you don't want to overcommit with it in single elixir, so that's one of the main things to realize. If you drop an Electro Giant in single elixir headfirst into a Pekka, you're going to be heading out of the game with a remarkably easy loss. So we're going to make sure that we find a good opportunity, and we'll see what we can do. I might want to be a conniving sir. If our opponent is going to be playing Mega Knight like I'm anticipating, we could pull the Mega Knight directly into our Evolved Goblin Cage for science, and then just eat it with the Evolved Goblin Cage while we munch on the tower with the Electro Giant. Then the Mega Knight can't even damage the Electro Giant, which it doesn't anyway, basically, but it would be pretty funny. Anyway, we are going to Barb Barrel on top of this Firecracker. It should get slaughtered, and there isn't going to be that much damage for our opponent. I hate how the bowler always finds a way to get targeted by this Inferno Dragon. I wish he learned, you know? I wish he was a smarter sir. Anyway, we can go in for a Tornado here, hold the Inferno Dragon in, and possibly find a little bit more damage on the tower that way. Great positioning from our opponent. Remarkably smart decision making. He's like not overcommitting. He's playing pretty well. You got to give him credit because you don't expect most Mega Knight players to do this. Anyway, Firecracker going in the other side, which is good for us. We can go for a Barbarian Barrel. Notice how we made sure the Mega Knight was not jumping near our tower. We're then going to go in for a Bomber on defense here and go for a Cage to keep it alive. Whew, that was a slightly scary situation, not going to lie. But the Evolved Goblin Cage Brawler, if you guys didn't know, it has 10% higher health. That is a pretty nice tactic for us. Oh, you know what? We're going to go for an Electro Giant. In the face of adversity, we conquer all. We stand tall. I think the Inferno Dragon runs away. It's just not going to be able to catch us.
You can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man.
Can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man, says the Electro Giant, as we catch a little bit of damage. Anyway, I'm able to go in for a bowler here. Definitely want to go in for a Cage so we can pull back the Skeleton Barrel and not lose the game. I think this is okay because we can Barb Barrel on the Firecracker as we anticipated the Firecracker was going to come down, so we did not want to drop anything to bad positioning. Then we can Electro Giant again at the bridge. The reason we do this is because the Inferno Dragon paired with a Miner could be problematic for us if our opponent decides to zap our tower. So now I'm pretty confident we won the game, dude. You are a great player. You actually played Mega Knight to its fullest capability and still lost. If y'all are wondering, Electro Giant is the hardest counter to Mega Knight in the game. Despite this guy having the perfect power to counter us, it didn't even matter. And now this guy from the Lone Clan feels even more alone without his tower, because Mega Knight never has enough power to power down the Electro Giant. Time to roll through 5 opponents in a row, hopefully, optimistically always. But this guy is a conniving sir. He is sinisterly, like, snickering there with his goblin emote and dropping a dark goblin at the bridge. Why? How dare you, you cruel, malevolent man. Okay, so yeah, this guy has a plan of just spamming all of his cards at the bridge. I see through his plays already. Dropping that mischievous play. And also going in for another goblin laugh at me. I feel like he's bound to have more goblin cards and bait cards. Anyway, we know for a fact that if you are going to be playing arrows and you have a tendency of doing these type of tactics, you're likely going to have Pekka. I think he even had Pekka in his banner, so it wouldn't be that surprising anymore.
Video.
Yes, there's a bit of momentum. Yes, there's some follow through.
I usually don't like Electro Giant in single elixir until I can identify the deck because, yeah, if you go into Pekka, you're just dead. Imagine saucing out 7 elixir there and then just finding out, oh, wait, my opponent has too much elixir for me. I'm dead because the Pekka doesn't get touched by the Electro Giant. Like, sure, it gets a little bit of shock, but it's tickling. It doesn't do much. Also, we can use the Goblin Cage here, but I probably want to use that primarily on top of the Battle Ram so we can pull that in and then finish that off and then, yeah, take very little damage at all. So we've taken some on the left, but also the Goblin Cage evolution coming full force on the right-hand side, and it's deceptive because most people assume, hey, it's got the same health as the Goblin Cage Brawler, but actually, in fact, it has 10% higher health, so people have the calculations in their head, and then they aren't really ready for it. It'll survive and get extra shots, and maybe it'll get you a win that your opponents aren't necessarily prepared for. So, in this situation, when we get an Electro Dragon from our opponent, definitely just going to Lightning on that, but I'm going to wait with my Lightning. I want to be able to Lightning the Princess Tower when it's about to hit the Bomber, so we can get some extra damage. The Bomber could get an extra shot if our opponent drops something closer by to it. Anyway, he's going to have Goblin Cage and Pekka. What did we match into, man? Like, this is insane. Actually crazy. Okay, you know what? Let's bowler in the back and then try to activate King Tower with this Goblin Cage Brawler. I think it is possible if I hit a good tornado. Because we have Princess Tower. No! Dang it, man. That's insane. I thought for sure that would activate King Tower. Can we buff his Goblin Cage for the one time? Like, I know that we buffed mine with the evolution, but I'd like to buff his too. Not going to lie. For the one time. Just once, you know? Anyway, we're going to cycle a Phoenix here and then go in for a bowler to go and pull past the Pekka again. There's no way that Pekka's surviving. Did the dude actually have arrows too? That is remarkably annoying. Anyway, we could tornado so then we can get more damage with the bowler shot. I also think it's just better to go in for a lightning nado so then we can possibly hit the Pekka too. Oh, no, bro. How dare you do such a tactic? How dare you do such a play? Wait, I don't think this is that bad for me. We can just do this, right? And then go for a Phoenix on top of the Electro Dragon. Bro ain't ready. He ain't ready for his Pekka to get sucked in. That must really suck, dude. Look at your Pekka. You're not even trying to respond. You're just letting it happen. Okay. All right. Respectable. Just knowing where your place is in life. You know you can't stop me. All right. He's doing the similar tactic. He understands that it's a strong strategy. Anyway, he's going to Pekka on the other side. Wait. If you don't have Pekka and you don't have Goblin Cage, you're not safe. You thought you could do that. How dare you disrespect the Lightning Electro Giant. With multiple sources of electricity, this guy didn't keep up with our brain power. He did the worst play possible and caught an L. I mean, we've all been there, right? We've all made a mistake. You're like,
hey, I have one of the best answers to beat down in the game.
But we have ways around it. We've got Lightning and Evolved Bomber, and if you don't account for either of those, you instantly lose. We showed Junior's Pekka deck that this Electro Giant deck is simply his senior. Hey, what's up, baby? So, we're gonna see what's cooking. You already know, best play for us is the Goblin Cage first play. It's cool because you get to the evolution. You also are able to find your opponent in a predicament where they go in for a Pekka in the back. We are catching all the Pekachus today. Every single game is a Pekka, apparently. Not necessarily the first game, but the second one and the third one right now are both Pekka players. I wonder if this guy is going to be able to go... Oh. This is a joke, right? He's like, Jake, I know you didn't play against it the first game, so we have to make up for it and throw in a second Pekka in the third game. This is bad. This is actually really bad for me. I think if I'm able to pull this back and then maybe get the Goblin Cage down, we could defend this. Possibly. I don't know. I don't know how it does against the Pekka. I don't think it does great. Oh, no, bro. Stop it. We're alive, possibly. Yo, I need to go for a bomber in the middle so then we can blast the guards and the executioner at the same time. He's zapping, but we're clapping. Let's go, baby. I can't believe that we just witnessed that. That is peak greatness. This guy is simply too smart for us to understand. The Pekka mirror sauce is out of this world. You guys might go to McDonald's. You might go to Jersey Mike's. You might go to Chipotle and you're like, oh, this stuff is heat. But you don't understand what Bebe is cooking. He's got the most scrumptious possible treat. The Pekka mirror play. That thing is insane. I feel like it's just breaking mirrors and fairy tales when you look at it. It's not hideous. It's just too pretty to look at. Anyway, we're going to be going and using our lightning depending on what we can get. I genuinely don't know what this guy is going to come up with in his tactics and his sleeves. I'm just not ready. I'm really not ready. We are going to get hurt a little bit. Not a great feeling to see that this man is menacingly still barraging me with spam. But hey, it is part of the game, I guess. We can maybe go in for an Electro Giant to pull this back. Wait, has he got Mirror Pekka still? I think he does. I think he's going to Mirror Pekka. I forgot.
Prepare for trouble.
Make it double.
Or maybe not. Okay, wait. We got the sauce. Lightning. Okay. Stand and deliver. Make him shiver with the Electro Giant. Maybe not. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. We're just going to roll with it today, guys. And we're going to roll away with the barbell. Wait. This is the tactic. This is the play to make him pay. Evolve bomber time, baby. Please. No! Dude, you incorrigible human being. You crazy, sir. You are easily the most annoying person I have ever played against in my entire life. They tell tales of a mid-ladder menace like you, but I didn't know you existed. Oh, man, the YouTube comment section's like, you know, Jake, this is just an everyday experience in my life. And I'm like, dude, why? How? What is this? This is insane. I'm on the edge of my seat every 2 seconds wondering if I'm going to die, and I just don't know how the game's going to go. All right, we're going to go for a bowler here, and we're going to try to use Tornado. I don't like that the guards are hurting me. I really don't like that the guards are hurting me. Please, guards, guard and don't do that. Defend. Don't attack. All right, you know what? 2 lightnings and we win. 2 lightnings and we win. Can I just play intelligently and not dumbly going for an Electro Giant directly into him? Yes, dumbly's a word, and if you don't know, now you know. All right, so we're to go in for a cage. I think this could work out. Does it pull the Mega Knight and mess this man up? I believe. I believe in miracles. Come on now. I'm rolling through with the barbell, and we are going to roll away with the win as long as I can get this saucy lightning off in the back. And we strike down the tower, collect the win, and send Baby onto his next game where he can shock and traumatize another opponent. This is one of the most riveting and jolting games I've played in a while. I genuinely didn't think I was going to win. When you play against mid-ladder menaces like this monster, you never know what they're going to pull out. Luckily, when you have the supremely solid defensive structure with Bowler, Evolved Goblin Cage, Tornado, and Phoenix, you can pretty much defend against anything in the game. Pekka gets pecked apart by Phoenix in the sky, and the remainder of their spam gets caught up in the cage and the Bowler. Hey, Mo! We got another person with Mega Knight in the banner, so I wonder if this guy's going to one-up the last dude. Maybe he'll run like Mega Knight Mirror. We saw a Mega Knight in the last one, so it's only fitting that we see another. I'm going to Bowler and go in for a Barbarian Barrel if we can, but we don't have that in cycle, so we're forced to use a Bomber and a Bowler first play against his aggressive Royal Hogs and Arrows. So generally, if we go for Electro Giant here and then the Bowler pushes the Electro Giant to the left, he can't easily go in for a cannon or something to kite the Electro Giant to the farthest position possible in the middle. So I'm going to Tornado here. He is unfortunately going to have Zappies and Goblin Cage as one of the best answers in the game to Electro Giant. So if you're playing Electro Giant into this type of matchup, don't feel bad if you lose. It's hard to win unless you set up a big push with a Bowler, and then you're able to break through a Goblin Cage by lightning it. If you don't lightning on their Goblin Cage, you will lose the game 100%. Like, they will go for an evolution. You can't defend it. They will be able to kill your Electro Giant for a massive pause elixir trade. Then they get the Cage Brawler rolling at you. They'll drop like recruits at the river, and you instantly lose because rushing recruits when they're up elixir means that you can't defend. So that's just how the game works. Make sure you don't go for bad Electro Giants unless you can guarantee that you're going to get value from it. Generally, cycle Bowlers on the side that you're weaker health every single time. It's not going to die to a spell. Like, it's really resilient, sir. He's not going to lose to a Void, Fireball, Poison, you name it. This Bowler survives it, even a Rocket. So I am going to go in for another play here with an Electro Giant since the Zappies are split. Usually we cycle our Electro Giant a little bit further behind, so again, it's going to be harder for our opponent to get a good trade. Then we can maybe use a Tornado here if he goes in for a Cage. It's going to be a bit harder. I think I have to go for a Lightning. I would love to hit the Goblin Cage Brawler, and we do, which is really, really nice. I don't want a Tornado just yet. I'm going to have to wait a little bit. We're going to see if he cycles anything else, and he doesn't. So I am going to Tornado now. Spend a lot of elixir here, though. And we are barely going to get back to a goblin cage to save our butt. Huge value for me. And, you know, I am not loving the situation because we know our opponent's going to arrows. Maybe I can be a mischievous man and go in for a bomber in the back. And hopefully he doesn't see it and arrow it immediately. If he doesn't see it and arrow immediately, oh, come on, man. We were trying to hide behind our princess tower, play a game of hide and go seek. And he's like, Jake, you can hide and I will seek help. I will seek help. From my arrows. I don't know why I said help so weirdly there. I was trying to meme it, and then I was just like, dude, this is not the way that you meme help. But maybe I can get some help with saying help, and you guys can tell me the right way to say it in the future. I don't know. Anyway, we're in a tornado, so we're in a good spot here. If we're able to just defend for the last 16 seconds, you can pull all the picks to the middle. That's crazy. I didn't know that it was that easy to pull them all to the king tower, but hey, we have conquered this guy, and I guess we're the king of this game, despite our opponent having some of the best answers in the business, having zappies when we have lightning. Usually you're not able to break through with Electro Giant, but if you use the splash damage of the bowler and bomber, you can break through zappies and recruits while your lightning shocks your opponent and shatters their defensive cage. This is definitely one of the most difficult matchups to win, but it's still possible if you play well. All right, we are skipping on to the next one against Skipster. And you know, if we can just skip this match and collect the win, that'd be pretty cool. But that's not how Clash Royale works. It makes you grind for each game you get, especially when you're running a deck that is a bit better in double and triple elixir. Sure, this Electro Giant deck is pretty easy to play compared to a lot of decks in the game, but you kind of want to skip until double or triple to get your full force of the deck. If you're cycling Electro Giants in single, you're just playing risky unnecessarily. So I'm going to go in for a Phoenix here because I can comfortably do that. I have Tornado, I've got Goblin Cage, so it's not like he can punish me opposite lane with a balloon or something crazy. Wait, this guy's got Heal Spirit. I don't know what this guy's going to do. It's going to be another one of those games where they got like mirror and 5 different random cards that you just don't even know exist. Anyway, we could Tornado here and get fancy with our foe. Oh, yes! Getting the Phoenix to resurrect in his face. That was awesome. That was so funny. It's not necessarily like very impactful in the game, but it's cool. It's like, hey, I can make those plays that you're not ready for. Also, if we go bomber and then we Electro Giant at the bridge, usually I don't do this, but we have the Goblin Cage counter pushing and we also end up having the bomber, so we're gonna get to the evolution a bit faster. It just made sense logistically for me to spend my elixir that way. I know I'm getting fancy with words, but it's not great. We might have to eat our own words here because the prince is about to pummel me. It is powerfully charging through. And it is not a card that is easy for us to counter because you don't have great distractions in this deck. But there is one caveat. If you guys are unaware, if you go in for the Goblin Cage evolution and it pulls in a charging prince, guess what? The prince doesn't charge on the Goblin Cage, and the Goblin Cage fully nullifies the prince charge, pulling it in and somehow outspeeding a charging prince. Anyway, we're going to go for a cage here, and we'll see what this man decides to do. I bet you he is not going to have a good time when the cage devours this giant. He might be in a miserable spot. We're definitely going to go for a Barbarian Barrel here on top of the... yeah, I guess we're going to do it on everything. And then we can just go in for our Bomber afterward. And did we just defend? I think that was a pretty easy defense, actually, if I do say so myself. Is he going to go Prince? He is. Yo, watch this lightning. Catch these hands, my guy. So the lightning is going to give us tremendous value, allowing us to finish off the rest of the Prince. Then we can defend practically everything here with the bowler. I knew it was going to defend against the prince, right? I wasn't ever questioning myself, right? I was definitely questioning myself. I was like, wait, I said that. Is it going to die? And then it barely did. So that was very cool. I can go for a bar barrel here to clean up the rest of his stuff. Definitely a bit scary when your opponent has an evolved knight coming at you. But if you have anything to stop the knight from moving, it's not going to get the damage nullification. If you guys are unaware, the knight evolution does less damage to it when it's moving. So you want it to stay stationary. You want it to be attacking something that isn't your tower. Then the knight will take maximum damage. Also, look at the Goblin Cage evolution, striving for greatness and really strangling all of our opponent's elixir. So obviously he's going to Prince. We would love to lightning on it before it charges, but I don't think we're going to be able to stop that. It's fine. Always getting the lightning is nice because we are able to minimize the type of damage that the Prince does, so we can get more value with the Electro Giant. All right, we're going to go bowler here. I think it hits the prince. I think it hits the prince. I think it hits the prince. Please. Yeah, let's go. 2 lightnings away. 2 lightnings away. All we need to do is get the double lightnings to win this one. Obviously, he's going to fireball, so we're dropping our Phoenix slightly off sides, a little bit off kilter on the left. Now we're going to go for our Electro Giant and then probably a bomber here. I think that's a better play than doing anything else. It's a bit safer that way. Again, we want to go for a lightning on the Prince, but I don't know if it's the best play. So I'm actually going to switch it up and swerve a little bit and go for a bowler plus a barbell and then clean everything up by minimalistically spending elixir before we see the heal spirit. All right, heal spirit's coming in. It didn't heal up the giant because guess what? The giant's hiding away inside our prison. Locked up, my guy. And I think we got this game all locked up for a win if we can just get one more lightning. Yes, sir. GG. Well played. And peace out, Girl Scout. If you guys remember that from like 2018, you're a real one. And after that game smashing Skipster with an immeasurable amount of electricity, I just imagine a jolly Electro Giant skipping towards our opponent's tower, knowing we're going to get guaranteed damage every single time. Because if you don't have a building or multiple layers of defense, it's impossible to stop an Electro Giant with Evolved Bomber. I didn't notice this until now, but he finished at 291 in the world at over 3,000 medals, proving that this Electro Giant deck pulverizes the best players in the game. Peace out, Girl Scout.
And peace out, Girl Scout. Pleasure playing against you.
Thunder both the like button, subscribe for more daily content, and have an amazing rest of your day.